or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ooh, might as well jump. I like it. Brian Haddad sitting in here for the last segment for David Hayes on the Afternoon Underdogs, ESPN Northwest Florida. And I am thrilled to be joined once again in studio by one, over the airwaves by the other, but I have got the legends themselves, Monte and the Pharaoh. I didn't say legends in your own mind. You were thinking
Thank you.
But I think you guys, look, I caught the show. It was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. I missed the after Royal Rumble show, but I did catch you guys on Thursday. Thursdays, by the way, guys, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. You can check out Monte and the Pharaoh and talk a little bit about wrestling. Monte, you on the line with us there, buddy?
I am on the line. How are you guys doing, Jimmy? Good to hear from you again, my friend.
What's up, Mr. M? What's going on?
Living the dream, living the dream.
There you go. I tell you what, loved the show on Thursday. Definitely looking forward to it again this time. But we got a lot to talk about. Now, last week we were kind of making our pitches, our plays going into the Royal Rumble, what we liked about it in general. Well, now we've had the event. So, Monte, I'll start with you, and then I'll come over to Pharaoh here about just your general thoughts about the event itself this year.
Well, let me open up with saying, clearly I know nothing about pro wrestling because I got it entirely wrong.
You and your predictions.
So, I mean, I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
So, overall, I think the expectations were so high that since The Rock did not come out, it was going to be an epic failure for whoever was expecting The Rock.
Sure.
The women's match was good. The Roman Reigns match was a normal Roman Reigns match, which I personally enjoyed, being that I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
But overall, I give the Rumble a C, okay. Maybe a C+. The ending was very just plain, Cody throws CM Punk out. Yeah. Okay, now we're pointing to the WrestleMania sign. But, I mean, that's where I stand on it.
Do you hear the disappointment in that man's voice?
Well,
Can you hear it?
But it's interesting, and I don't know if you guys felt this way, and I was telling you this earlier, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt when it ended.
Right.
And the more I've thought about it, the more I liked it, because I do think it's drawing me a pretty good path for where we're going for the next 2 months.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think so.
But what were your thoughts on the event itself?
Well, I mean, I'm just like most fans. After I didn't see The Rock, I mumbled a bunch of words you can't say on the station. I think I'll tiptoe around how I really feel.
Yeah, there you go.
Since tiptoe seems to be the word of the day.
Well, that's the word.
Yeah. I was fairly ticked off. But you know what? In general, I have the ability to just sit back right away and take the product for what it just gave me rather than what I want. Yeah. You can't feel too bad. Oh, by the way, Mike, don't feel bad about not being able to guess a scripted show. I don't know what's going to be on Yellowstone the second half of season 5. You know what I mean?
That's been our mantra, Jimmy, the whole time.
I know.
Like, it's scripted wrestling. You're just guessing what someone's putting together.
Right. And if you get it right, you shouldn't be asking for like a make-pretend belt to put on your mantle at home either. What did you guess really in the end? I thought it was a good show. I thought it was solid. I thought it was my favorite word, serviceable.
Yeah.
I gave it a B. And then, I called it safe.
Yes.
And the next day, the New York Post decided to call it safe. So I know the New York Post is watching Monte and the Pharaoh.
I love it. Well, if they're not, they should be. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, let's, real quick, results. Bayley winning the Women's Royal Rumble. Outstanding there. Roman Reigns did come out victorious in the four-way, which, I mean, the match had to be what the match had to be.
Sure.
I thought it actually did a little bit better than I thought going in. Logan Paul wins via disqualification, which, good Lord, when's the last time we saw that on a pay-per-view?
Old school.
I actually thought it was a very clever way to do it.
About time.
Although it was the first time a WWE referee has seen a disqualification in the last 20 years. And then Cody Rhodes obviously winning the Men's Royal Rumble after basically a match within a match with CM Punk at the end. I think they went 8 or 9 minutes at the end.
Went a little bit there.
Let's do it this way. I'm just kind of curious. I'll start it here. Best thing that we saw on the night. I'm not going to take as many of the obvious ones, but I will say this. Jordynne Grace, her debut, or not debut, but coming in as the TNA champion, a little working together, I thought she showed out for herself extremely well and guaranteed a future in the WWE. If you have not seen her, she's in shape.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought she did a wonderful job. I thought it was an excellent thing to bring her in, do that. She obviously has a little backstory with Naomi, who made her return.
Right.
But that would be just one of my kind of best. Jimmy, we'll start with you. What was kind of the best thing you saw on the show?
Well, we'll continue to tiptoe around why he got the slot he did, but I was very, very happy for Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Very, very happy. Number one, I'm a huge Steiner family person to begin with.
Sure.
And then, the kid comes out and does what he does. And I thought to myself, wow, he's really, really having a heck of a run here in this match. Then you find out later on why he might have had that run.
And look,
we tiptoe.
all right, I'm not going to tiptoe anymore. We're not going deep into why.
I knew I'd get you to talk about it.
Yeah, you get Vince McMahon has been accused of some horrific things. And
bad booking?
He's been
something
accused
else?
of that for a very long time. But sexual assault, sexual trafficking, there's been a lot of stuff. It's in the Wall Street Journal everywhere.
Yeah.
Bottom line is he is completely out of the mix, and that's probably a good thing for a number of reasons. What we've been tiptoeing about there, and the reason Braun Breaker may have gotten the spot that he did, is there is talk that one of the people involved in the suit, or at least in some of the allegations, was Brock Lesnar, who was expected to make a comeback.
Correct.
And it has been said that Braun Breaker took his spot and, like you said, took the ball and ran with it.
I thought he did. I thought he was fantastic. And hopefully this leads to, a real solid future in the company, because I would hate to see them pull back just because of bizarre circumstances, to have him make this kind of showing and then pull it back. So we'll see.
Well, ironically, I was a little worried for Braun Breaker because it wasn't that long ago that his dad made some kind of insensitive remarks at one of the cons, and you always worry about that sticking to you being the son, and it did look like some things cooled with him a little bit, so definitely glad to see him.
But don't forget, they put Scott, his uncle, into the Hall of Fame even after the comments.
That's right.
So I guess,
Monty, what was your best thing of the night?
I think the best spot of the night was Jade Cargill pulling on Bianca Belair's hair. I thought that was probably the best spot, right? It was Jade, I believe, right?
Yeah,
that was the best. That was the best spot for me, as far as like something exciting to watch.
Mike, does she look? I'm sorry, Mike. Does she look WWE ready to you? I know you like to observe the difference between AEW and.
She's not. She's not. I saw. You could see the difference between the WWE female against the AEW female. There's certainly a difference, and to me, Jade looked good. She did a good job, but you could see she's still a little behind the mix. You're wrestling with the best of the best, and Bianca Belair is one of the best.
Sure.
Let's see if they could orchestrate the match. I hope that's the match that's coming, but. Overall, that was the highlight to me. Was
this Monty the perfect place to debut her though, because you don't have to go one-on-one and maybe show some of those wrestling shortcomings? You're in a different environment here.
That's exactly what they did. That was a smart move. The one thing I didn't understand was the Pat McAfee, entrance into the Royal Rumble. I'm like, what are we just wasting?
100% agree. That was my worst of the night.
It was very anticlimactic. It was like, why, I thought something funnier would happen. It was just a shrug-off, kind of.
I get comedy spots, but no, Monty said it right. I think it was just a waste.
Yeah,
it was a complete waste of a spot.
I'm hearing McAfee had no clue right up until that very moment.
But see, that's... It's a scripted show. Why in the world would you have no clue? It's dumb. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was dumb. But
not to get
Yeah, go ahead.
Not to get too deep into it, guys, but, you just mentioned Brock Lesnar not being brought in because of all the accusations. I find it odd that, Jimmy called it, right? It's safe. Yeah. So the safe move is not bring Brock Lesnar into the Royal Rumble, right? What's the next safe move, though? I mean, now Triple H is getting heat for not commenting on the Vince McMahon thing.
Yeah.
So how safe are we going to get with the WWE? And then are we going to go back to the PG that everybody couldn't stand?
Right. Well, let's certainly hope not. Let's look at this going forward. So we had the event itself. Bayley winning for me was probably the... I think would all of us agree the women's match maybe the best of the night?
It made the most sense too. Yeah, made the most sense.
Yeah, the running joke, and I think I heard someone say this today, was that Triple H spent all this time booking the women's Royal Rumble, and right as he was about to start working on the men's, the Vince stuff hit, and he just went, whoops.
Could be.
It could, but all right, so let's talk about going forward now. So in about a month, we have Elimination Chamber, which can be down in Australia. I would imagine so much of what they're going to do is going to be to highlight the Australian talent they have, obviously, in Rhea Ripley and maybe some others, Bronson Reed, Grayson Waller, I'm sure will have a play.
Right.
But then, obviously, the road to WrestleMania. So Cody wins, Bayley wins. What do we expect, guys, going forward here? Cody's already called out Roman, so we kind of know what we're doing there. But what do we expect? Let's start with Bayley. What do we expect on the Bayley side of things?
I think that Bayley is probably going to have a falling out with her little group there.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make the most sense. Nobody wants to really see Bayley versus Rhea, obviously.
Right.
We want to see Bayley turn to that group and go after Rio.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that would be the end result of that.
Monty, do we think maybe this is like the Batista of old, where he does the whole thumbs down play and she does go after Io and turns on Damage Control?
Yeah, well, they did the little Easter egg, right? Asuka wasn't like shaking hands. Remember when they would do the double teams? Mm-hmm. And, so they were already setting the stage for that. I mean, But I think back, I'm thinking, Monty, you're so stupid. I mean, you knew Bayley was going to win this thing. Yeah. Why would you think anybody else would have? Yeah. Right? So, there'll be a falling out with the next couple of weeks. And then, Bayley's already the face of the deal. So, I mean, that's locked and loaded already.
And it was somewhat predictable with Bayley, but I thought the way they played it out, I'm not a huge Liv Morgan fan. I don't love her eliminating Jade, but the timing of her eliminating Jade, boom, Bayley hitting her right then was executed perfectly.
Perfect.
So congrats to the women there. Now, all right, let's pivot over to the guys here. Obviously, Cody finishing the story is the overriding theme, and I think we expect that. We know he's calling out Roman, so I guess first question is, do we actually finish the story? And secondly, how, if at all, is The Rock involved either on the lead-up or at WrestleMania?
Mike, do you want to give your crazy wild theories first?
I want to hear it. Let's go.
Well, I got to think somewhere. You can't put Rock in the Elimination Chamber. As great a shape as he in, he's not in that pro wrestling. I mean, you would have had to put him in the Rumble in order for this to make sense. Mm-hmm. But somehow The Rock is going to have a match with Roman Reigns. And my prediction is night one, Roman's going to wrestle The Rock, defeat The Rock, defending the title. And somehow night two, he's going to wrestle Cody. And listen, I'm not going to give this as a guarantee. You've worked this for so long.
Yeah.
You're literally 5 months away from passing, or 6 months away from passing Hogan. This will never happen again, right? So you really feel like you have to give this up to Cody? He can finish the story another year from now. But again, wrestling fans are fickle. If he doesn't, who knows what they're going to believe. But I'm not going to necessarily say that Roman's going to drop his title. But as being a wrestling fan, anything less than Roman wrestling The Rock at WrestleMania, I don't care how they do it, is a waste, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mike, I think you're right. I think that they are going to do it that way, because this way, if, Roman does lose on night two to Cody Rhodes, he'll always have I fought The Rock the night before. What champion has to fight back-to-back nights on WrestleMania weekend? The story's going to get finished. Cody's going to win the belt. It's
You know, guys, I wish we had more time. We got about a minute left, so we'll need to wrap up. I've got a theory, but I think we're going to save it going forward because I definitely want to share it with you guys on how I think this might play out. But I want to speak to one thing real quick. How strong is what the WWE is doing right now in their roster, and that we just went 17 minutes talking about the Royal Rumble? We didn't bring up CM Punk at all.
Not at all.
I mean, they've got a lot. They've got a lot going on right now, and you know, CM Punk. There may be an injury, there may not. We'll have to see how that plays out. But certainly going to have a lot to talk about. Again, guys, thank you so much for your time. Everybody, Monte and the Pharaoh, Thursdays, Cablevision, Facebook, YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Monte, thanks for joining us. Jimmy, again, thanks a lot. Guys, watch wrestling. It'll be fun. David will be back tomorrow with the Underdogs. Coach Hale in the morning. Ryan, we love you, buddy. We're glad we hope everything continues to work out. Y'all keep him in your thoughts and prayers. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Senior Bowl, the preeminent college football all-star game, Saturday, February 3rd, live in Mobile, Alabama. 2 ways to win. Number 1, text to win. Text the keyword senior right now to 850-215-6290. Number 2, listen to Coach Hale in the morning and the afternoon Underdogs for the cue to call. Listen to win or text to win.